Hi, this is John from FlatCatGear. I've decided to start a new video series and I'm calling it My 2 Cents. The reason I'm calling it My 2 Cents is I'm doing a series of videos based on my perspective, my opinions, insights I've gathered over the years, what works best for me. Now some of these concepts may not be for everyone, but I'm just telling you what works for me. And again, this is an opinion piece, like a book review or a movie review. You could take it for what it's worth. But this is my series that I'm starting off, and I hope you enjoy it. This particular video is talking about why I choose to use alcohol stoves. Now, everyone is familiar with the whole phrase, leave no trace. Over the years of backpacking, I've started to look at that a little bit differently. And one of the things that bothers me is a lot of times I see people using the leave no trace as a concept that starts at the trailhead and goes on to their experience and back. And what I've decided to do is start moving that further back into things that I do. And so if you look at alcohol stoves in general, I believe they're a better fit in the whole leave no trace concept than canister stoves or white gas stoves. And I'm going to present some points as to why I believe that's true. The first point that I want to bring up is alcohol is a renewable resource. Alcohol can be made from corn, potatoes, all kinds of grains. In contrast, canister stoves and white gas are fossil fuel-based products. In particular, canister stoves are created from either petroleum drilling or natural gas. And these are fossil fuels. There are two things that I'm concerned about with gas canisters. The first is a lot of these gas canisters are considered hazardous waste. We recently went backpacking in Sequoia National Park, and right at the check-in station at the kiosk there's a sign that says they consider these gas canisters to be hazardous waste, that you cannot dispose of them within the park. You need to take them home and dispose of them appropriately. Now, a number of companies are selling these little gadgets that you screw into the can and you punch holes in the sides. And that also raises a concern to me because, they're thinking that, well, I'm just venting the gas. Well, you're venting these, fossil fuels straight into the atmosphere. So that doesn't make sense to me either. The second point about waste that I really get concerned about is these gas canisters. This is an example. This is a 4-ounce canister. Well, if you weigh it, it weighs 8 ounces because you have to have all this metal structure here to support all the pressure. So every time you buy 4 ounces of gas, you actually buy 4 ounces of steel that you're just going to throw into the recycling. So it just seems, what else in life do you buy that half of the weight of what you buy is actually the packaging that you have to throw away? So, these leads me to believe that they don't really fit into the whole leave no trace if you expand that concept beyond the trailhead. The third and final thing is one of the things that's coming up in the in the environmental community is sourcing things locally. And one of the things you'll notice, I went to a number of sports stores, and it turns out that I'm finding that these gas canisters are made in either Japan, China, or Korea. Now, I live in Los Angeles, and I probably go on 4, 5, 6 backpacking trips a year. And I probably put in between 100 and 200 miles a year backpacking. One of the things that's just, it's one of those things that's really disturbing. One of these gas canisters traveling from Japan has to come about 6,000 miles to get here before I can use it. And that just doesn't seem right. Now, I'm less concerned about, if I buy a stove, because that's a one-time use. But we're talking about a consumable product here. So over the lifetime, you spend 10 cartridges. That means you've got 10 of these coming over 6,000 miles to reach my home. The nice thing about alcohol stoves, and this is particularly true internationally, is that you usually can find a source of denatured alcohol locally, either within your particular country or within close by, not the 5,000 or 6,000 miles that these canisters have to come to reach. Los Angeles. So in conclusion, the reason I choose alcohol stoves, there's three main reasons. Number one, it's renewable resource. Number two, there's the waste issue, hazardous waste when you have partial canisters, extra landfill waste. And number three is sourcing things locally has been proven to be better for the environment. So that's why I would encourage you to use alcohol stoves when you go out backpacking. Now, there's a time and a place for canister stoves. I'm not just totally dumping on them, but in most cases of the trips that I've taken, I've been able to do everything I need with an alcohol stove. And that's why I think people should consider them. Thank you.